Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this webinar, Equine Personal Trainer. I'm so happy you're here. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay, if you can see me okay, everything's working for you. So if you could let me know also in the chat where you are watching from. So where are you right now in the world? Hello, Brecht. Belgium. Great. Hi, Sue. Yes, Sue can hear us in New Zealand. What time is it in New Zealand? It's amazing that you are here with us live. Good evening from Marielle, watching from the Netherlands. 6 a.m., Sue. Wow. I'm honored. Hello, Maren from Germany. Yeah, winter. Yes, I hope spring is coming for you soon. Okay, great. So seems like everything is working. I want to welcome you from my heart that you are here because you have taken an important step in your journey in horse training. So many people sign up online or click a link or put their email address somewhere. It has become so easy and normal for us to do that. But you are here now, which means you are really investing in yourself and in your horse, because for our horses, we are here. So I want to acknowledge that and tell you that I'm really honored to have you here today. And we're just going to have a great time together. You are welcome to put your questions in the chat. When I'm presenting, I will not be looking at the chat too much, but then we can scroll over the questions afterwards. And I'm going to start the presentation right now. So make sure your phone is off, your distractions are gone, and that you can really enjoy what I have for you here today. So this webinar about the equine personal training is what I have to offer today. And what is the equine personal trainer? What might have attracted you to this topic? For me, the equine personal trainer is an equestrian that, ridden and from the ground, develops his or her horse so that it can reach its full potential. So this equine personal trainer is a horse developer that considers the whole horse, his body, his mind, and his heart. And this webinar is made for you, and you are in the right place if right now you can't seem to progress past a certain level with your horse, or you feel like you've been on one level for a longer period of time. Maybe progress has stalled a little bit and you've reached a plateau. Or if you try to do everything by the book, like as adults, we have already learned so much about riding and horses, and we try to do everything right, but somehow it doesn't feel right. Or maybe you often feel unmotivated to ride, or you don't get to ride as much as you'd like, and then the days go by and you find yourself saying, well, tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow I will start again, or next week it will be better, or next month will be better. Or maybe even if the weather makes you unmotivated. And you're also in the right place if you try to keep everything fun for your horse, but it's not getting you anywhere. Maybe you back off when your horse is telling you, hey, this is difficult, or I don't like it this way. And you really do your best to make it fun and motivating for your horse, but you don't see it really helping you or helping your horse to progress and develop its strength, its power, even its motivation. So if you're interested in any of these topics and you are really looking for a way to start making progress again and start having more fun again and finding more motivation for yourself or your horse, you are absolutely in the right place. So here's what you will learn by hanging out today. I will tell you why little girls are good with horses. And it's a little bit of a backstory of how I came to teaching the way I teach in the horse world. I will show you my 3 pillars of horse development, which basically make horse development very simple. You have a good overview because there are 3 areas in the horse that we need to consider, that we need to develop. And these are the 3 pillars. And if we build on all 3 of them, then our progress will really leap forward. We will have a look at training planning from the horse's perspective. So how often do I need to train and how much is enough? And then bringing in enough consistency and variety in the perfect balance. So really knowing why to train and when to train. It's really not so much about what you do, because that is for everybody something else. Not everybody has the same goals. So you will learn today how to use consistency and variety in your training for the specific path that you want to follow. And first things first, I believe an introduction is in place. On the last slide, you could see me with my horse Kaya. And on this slide, you can see me with my other horse Kai. And he's actually turning 13 today. It's his birthday. So it was a really great date for me to also do this webinar for you guys on such a festive day. Kai has been with me for 12 years already. So I really started at 0 with him and we learned a lot together. I help horse owners to step into the role of the personal trainer for their horse so that they can reach their riding goals with a happy and healthy horse and help them feel confident about their journey together. So what I really, really like is people that have their own path and their own goals and maybe do something special with their horse and don't really follow the standards. I adapt to everyone and I see the value in following your individual path because you and your horse are a unique pair and nobody is like you. So I don't press people in a system. I don't try to let everybody do the same thing. I just teach in principles and principle-based things that are always true for the horse. And within that, you can find your own journey. And once you have your goals and your own journey, then I am there to motivate, support, and guide you in the step-by-step approach to reach them. A little motivational bonus came to mind. I was thinking, what can I do to keep you interested, to stay to the end? So what I've come up with is to share this complete slide deck that I have made for you today. That way you will have all the slides of the webinar as a PDF document. You can download this at the end of this presentation, and this way you will have a great reference to go over today's presentation again and again as you need. And next to this, I advise you to also have pen and paper ready, of course, to note right now already the things that come up for you, the nice aha moments, things that are really going to make a difference in your training the coming time. So have pen and paper ready. And if you stay to the end, you will also receive all my slides. So how did I get to the point that I am now? Where did I find that really balancing the love for the horse and the performance goals was the best thing. I started my riding career in France. When I was little, we were living in France for 6 years because of my father's job. And as you can see in the photo, I learned riding on Shetland ponies. It was always without saddle, just take the pony out of the herd, put a bridle on and go into the forest mostly. And this picture is very funny because it was a steeplechase race with those Shetland ponies that we did in the summer with the pony club. And yeah, it was really cool to experience and prepare and then go to this big event. So yeah, that's where my fire for also trying to achieve something with horses was really lit. Then I came to the Netherlands. My parents moved back. And in the Netherlands, I had to start riding in a riding school. And what happened there was that I just had to take over the horse that was already having a lesson before. So somebody would finish their lesson, hand you over the horse, and you get on. There was no getting the pony out of the herd, saddling it yourself, or having to do anything. You basically just take that horse from somebody else. And you start your lesson, and when you finished, most of the time they had to go another lesson. So it was really going against everything that I had learned so far, and I really didn't feel comfortable in those lessons. So there it was almost like only drilling and none of the fun part and relationship part with the horse. So I convinced my parents that I could find a private horse to take care of by myself. And I was 11 years old, so it was a bit of a big ask for my parents to let me do that. And I took care of a Norwegian fjord horse. It was a mare, and the beginning of our journey was just terrible almost. I loved it, but if you tried to go left, the horse would run to the right. If you tried to go to the right, it would go to the left. If you wanted to go faster, it would just stand. If I wanted to slow down, she would just run off. And with that horse from a young age, I was just so determined. I saw the potential in her. I knew she could be a good horse. And I went there every day and just spent time with her in the field until finally she was accepting me just being there. Then I would climb up her back, just like I would have with the Shetland ponies when I was even younger. And she would just tolerate me. And then little by little, we became friends, and we could go on trail rides at the end in the forest after some time. I don't think it even was that long, just a few months of really dedicating, believing in that horse and knowing we could make it work, and putting in the time. We could go on trail rides, and later on we even participated in lessons at the local riding club. And I got her so far that we could even jump a small show jumping course at our club competition. So that was like this big achievement, showing everybody that this was not just a stubborn horse and not just a dumb horse, or that she could not learn, but really, really seeing the potential and just finding a way every day, step by step, to unlock it, to reach the horse's heart, to reach its understanding, and then also help it become healthier and more powerful, feel better as a riding horse. So I always try to combine our adult thinking, our way of defining goals for ourselves, like we want to do a competition, or we want to get better at something, or we want to ride really, really well. We want to keep our horse healthy for a long time, and we want to do everything right. So that's okay. But what I really, really would like to inspire you to do is to never lose that passion that young people have. Like when you were younger and you looked at a horse standing in a field, it's just perfect the way it is. And with that passion, I have coached several riders that I would like you to know about, also as an inspiration. On the left on this slide, you see Wendy Bauenser from the Netherlands. And she is a really, really good friend of mine, and I have been coaching her for the last years. And her horse was what other people would call a project horse or even a problem horse. He was a stallion for a very long time, and well, as stallions are not always treated like they should be, he also developed some very difficult behavior because he was just not understood as the horse that he was. It got out of hand, and he got gelded, and then with proper training, he kind of got in the right direction again, and that was when she got him. But it was still really, really difficult. He would kick out if you put your leg on. He was always like sour and very angry, and she also saw in that horse the potential. Like, it's a beautiful horse. He should feel as beautiful as he looks, and he should find his way back in life. So that was her project, and it's really inspiring. I tried to help Wendy to really make the training positive. So really reinforce the positive for the horse. Now, when you hear her riding, she's like, yes, Dio, that's right. Great, good job, even for the smallest things. And that made such a difference. Everybody might think that she's crazy, but it works for the horse, right? So why not do that? And another thing that made a big difference was that I helped her to make her communication very, very clear. Like, not just put your leg on because you put your leg on, but have the clearest intention, have that visual. Why am I using this aid in this moment, and which reaction am I really looking for? And doing one thing at a time with such a clear plan, such a clear intention and picture in mind was what really helped this horse to get away from the no, 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 no reactions to the, wait a minute, what did you ask? Oh, I think I can do that. I might try something. And then the biggest reward afterwards. So, it's amazing what she has accomplished with this horse. She even had 4 hernias, so her own health didn't help her in the last 4.5 years. And even with those like big periods of time that she was not able to ride, she has gone from training level dressage to 3rd level dressage, where you get to ride in the double bridle in the Netherlands. And even there, at their first competition, they already scored over 60% in the dressage test. So it's just so amazing to see what you can accomplish if you follow this approach and have a clear plan. On the right is Shanoa from France, and Shanoa has also been coached by me just before she was going to the Trek European Championship. So Trek is a sport where you ride a long distance ride on the Saturday or on the first day of the competition. It's always 2 days. And this distance is ridden on in the terrain, like mountains, forests, everything that you didn't see before. So you only have a map and a compass to find your way. You draw in the map at the beginning, and then you go. So you're alone with your horse the whole day, going through unknown terrain. And the second day you have a kind of dressage element to show that your horse is also well ridden, and a course where there are jumping elements and like a cross country, but also things in hand that you need to show that you can also manage your horse through difficult terrain if something would come up and you would have to master that situation with your horse together. And during her preparation for the Trek Championship, she already noticed that her horse improved tremendously. Shanoa is really a natural at horsemanship. So she can even ride her horse bareback and bridleless and then play the guitar while she's riding. So these are kind of the amazing things she was already able to do. So having a great relationship, having a great partnership with her horse, but looking for a way to really bring her horse further physically to prepare for that big championship, and doing that in a way that fits her approach of from that natural connection that she has with her horse, with the always putting the relationship first. How can I then still develop my horse physically without making him less motivated to be with me and do fun things, without drilling the horse? And as you can see, the result was a 4th place in individual ranking. So that's really, really amazing. And she reported back to us that her horse was fit, attentive, and motivated throughout the whole event. So over multiple days, her horse was with her. And even here at the prize giving ceremony, you can see it had its ears forward. So amazing things happen with the right coaching for the riders and therefore for the horses. These are 2 horses from my clients that I teach one-on-one, and the Haflinger on the left had really trouble finding relaxation. And what we did there is really work with the body first, so that then mentally she could also relax, because she was really putting herself in a lot of stress because she was getting unbalanced. So those are the things to consider, that there is a back and forth connection between the physical and the mental. And now she is even so certain in her step and so brave that she can go on trail rides just with her owner without any other horses there. So that was an amazing achievement. And on the right, you see a Shetland pony, which is probably one of the most fit Shetlands that I have ever seen. I have never seen anything like this. He is also a driving pony. And she wanted to do also a bit of groundwork because she cannot go driving every day. It takes a bit more time. So she built herself a round pen and she tried to lunge her pony around. And he said, "No way. This is not my thing. I only want to go straight forward. You're not going to get me at all walking to the right, and to the left also not such a bad idea." So he really wasn't having fun there. He had his ears back. He was just fighting the situation and kicking and bucking, and it's not very impressive when they are so small, but he was really showing her, "I am not going to do this. This is not for me, and I don't care what you think. I'm just not going to try this." And she got my help, and within weeks it changed, just by going very slow, walking through the process step by step, seeing where the horse blocks and acknowledging that and solving that thing first before we are trying to do the end result, which is having the pony maybe trot around in a circle. That was the end result. We had to really break it down into smaller things that we can then positively encourage. And in that way, taking a step back was actually taking 5 steps forward, because also in a matter of weeks, she noticed a change in herself, how she felt about training her pony. And Felix was also showing up completely different way. When she came to do something and opened the round pen, she has 2 of these ponies, they would just run in. So complete black and white opposite. And this correct training was really working with his personality. So we know he has an opinion, so we should not discredit that. And now he moves better and therefore is happier, and also is much, much fitter when they go driving. So If you have paid attention and listened to these 5 stories, they are all very different, but they have a common theme, which is to discover the horse within. And little girls are very good at doing that. They cannot explain it, they don't know it yet. They just find every horse is just the perfect unicorn of their dreams. They put it on a pedestal and they have this immense love for the horse. It's just being perfect the way it is. And then as we grow older, we start learning and we start gathering knowledge about how we should train. And we get even more confused the more we know, and every answer to every question is answered by trainers with, it depends. It depends on the horse. It depends on the situation. So many things to consider. So adding more knowledge is not the answer to your problems. You probably already know everything you need to know to make the next step with your horse. So to find the path to your dream goals, you'll need clarity and focus and a clear personal plan. So think back now. What has fascinated you so much about horses? Why do you want it to become better with your horse? What is it about your horse specifically that you see? Maybe he's not even showing you that in this moment. Maybe in your training you're still struggling. Maybe there are some difficulties at this moment. But behind that, if you just pull back all the stuff that your horse might be doing right now or how he's behaving in this period of time, what do you see behind all of this behavior? What is there inside that fascinates you so much about this horse and that you would like to bring forward, to let him discover himself and find his potential and enjoy what he can do, even if your horse maybe doesn't believe it at this moment or finds it hard and difficult? Write that down in your notes. You can share it in the chat with the others if you'd like. But it's an important thing to ponder on when we are in a problem or when we are struggling. Like, find back why you want to ride your horse or why you want to achieve what you are looking to achieve. So then you know the why. So you're motivated, you think, yes, I have it. I know why this horse, I know why this goal. Then how are we going to get there? So here comes in the clarity that you need. Not getting distracted by all the 100,000 different exercises and training approaches out there. Everything you do with your horse is a combination of these 3 horse development pillars. The first one is the relationship between you and your horse. This is really the foundation. So if you have a new horse or you're training a young horse that doesn't know how to interact with people yet, the relationship always comes first. It's the first thing we build on. Then comes understanding. So you can see the relationship as the foundation, and then understanding is building the walls, if it would be a building. You need clear and consistent communication. And this starts with the picture that you have in mind every moment that you are training your horse or that you are together with your horse. And the third pillar is the biomechanics. I see many people that have a great relationship and their horse also understands what they want and they can do amazing things even at liberty, but the horse is just not walking in a biomechanically healthy way. And if you don't have all three, you are not going to reach the full potential of your horse. And if you neglect the biomechanics, your horse might also then feel less and less motivated, and your relationship and understanding might even get worse over time if you don't consider all three. So if you would have relationship and biomechanics but less understanding, that would be maybe a horse that can go on a trail ride but doesn't understand anything of your age. So riding dressage, everything in the arena is just going nowhere. If you only have relationship and understanding, you might be happy together, but you find, something is not quite there yet. He might become a little bit more athletic. That would help him more. And if you have understanding and biomechanics only without the relationship, that is going towards the robot horse, right? So the really well trained, maybe the best thing I can think of right now is a high level dressage horse that understands the aids in the best way, always does the trick, always knows the exercise, is always moving perfectly, having a strong body, good biomechanics. But you can just see in their face that no, this is not it. The horse doesn't really have a relationship with the rider. Maybe they have, of course, they have a relationship with the rider, but they don't have such a motivational relationship, or don't even feel like they have a relationship with what they are doing. So if you consider all three of them, you would see even a dressage horse with an expression that it's showing itself, that it's feeling its potential, that it's presenting itself proudly, because horses can really do that. So that is my goal for you, that you find your level in all three that fits your goal and what you want to achieve with your horse. Inside the relationship pillar, it is really the goal to become the lead mare in your herd of two. It is important that you enter the space where your horse is with the right intention. So, which intention or feeling do you bring with you to the stable? Are you sometimes rushing to get to your horse after work, or it's already late, the kids are in bed, and you only have 1 hour left to go riding? And what beliefs do you have about your training? So, what is your intention before you go riding, and what are your beliefs? Like, yesterday was just not working, and probably today is also not going to work, or I'm going to train what my trainer had me do in the lesson, but it's so hard, it's difficult. So where is your mind going just before the ride? Maybe you're even scared to do something wrong, or you feel like you have to do something that is scary in itself. Like, I know that I should be working my horse over trot poles or cavalettis, but maybe he will jump to the side, or anything that comes up in your mind. Be really aware of that. Because once you start to noticing that, then you can also start to change it. And the second thing is observation. How much time do you spend with your horse in its natural surroundings, just observing? So, do you really know your horse in its own way of being, without any influence from people around, or influence from a situation like feeding time or training? So how much time do you spend with your horse in its natural surroundings? Maybe it's a lot. Maybe you have them at home and you just love watching them. When I have a lunch break, I just walk out to the pasture and I just go see what they are doing. And sometimes they amaze me. They're not even grazing. They're just standing around and looking for the shade, or just, having some chill time, sleeping in the sand. And it's also really, really nice to observe your horse in relation to other horses. You will learn a lot about the personality, how they are interacting with other horses, and what you need to be doing according to that, because we have to adapt. We cannot treat every horse the same. For every horse, becoming the lead mare in the herd of two might be different things. So for one horse, I might need to be a very stable, very calm person that goes slow and really doesn't startle them with anything. And for a different horse, I need to adapt. Some horses think really quick. They are dominant. They really are. They don't get scared or anything. They really understand people, and they kind of believe we are their butlers, so they can make us do stuff. And in that case, I need to be quicker. I need to be wittier. I need to be smarter. I need to, show him a little bit more that it's fun to do the things I suggest, but also that the suggestions should be followed, because I'm the lead mare. So you need to be more of a leading person for that kind of horse, and the other one will follow by itself, and you need to make sure that you're trustworthy. So observing in herd dynamic is really important to get some tips. Let your horse tell you what you should be doing. And then there is awareness. So can you level up your awareness so your horse can rely on you for guidance? What I mean by that is that horses are aware of everything around them. They cannot see as well as we do, but they rely much more on hearing and on smell, and also on like vibrations in the ground, because they have a lot of nerve endings in their hooves. So it's really like our feet, we don't think about it that much. Horses might also not really think much about their feet, but they do receive a lot of information through them. So smell, hearing, vibrations, all those kind of things are a horse is aware of what is happening, and their eyesight is also really developed to see small movements, not to see everything as sharp as we do, but really be aware of anything that changes in the surrounding, because that could be a threat. So what is important is that we are really trying to raise our awareness. Like when I'm riding, I look around, and if I'm the lead mare, I need to see the things coming before my horse does. And if my horse sees or smells or hears something first, I need to acknowledge, okay, thank you for informing me. You have seen or smelled or heard something that I could not, because I am human, but I acknowledge that it's there. Then the horse can turn for guidance to you, and you can then be when you are the lead mare, you can be the trusted person that makes the decision, okay, this is happening, this is there. Are we running or are we staying? And if your horse makes that decision, that's not so safe for us, right? So the fourth thing in the relationship is relaxing time. So it's really, really important to horses to also have some time together where you're not just leaving them alone and observing them and just having some completely undemanding time, but also plan some relaxing time with your horse. Do something that is really fun for them or really feels good for them. So after a good workout, do you plan the time to have a recovery training the next day, or just some wellness sessions? There are so many cool things nowadays that we can buy to massage the horses with, or just let them have a relaxing time in recovery. I see there is one question about a replay. Yes, of course, there will be a replay of the webinar. Yes, yes, yes. I think nowadays every webinar has a replay, right? Would be a shame to do it once and then have it be over. Okay, the second pillar, understanding. What is important to realize is, as humans, we really try to explain everything to ourselves in our head with words. And we can have a kind of, overthinking also, that we try to make it too complicated. And horses think in pictures instead of words. And in a picture, you could also imagine at the same time the technical and the feelings of that picture. So the adjectives that you would use to describe the picture. The technical part of the picture is what it looks like. So, for example, in the left, you see a picture of me riding shoulder in. So the technical picture that you might have is, okay, how is the horse in its flexion in the poll? How is the horse bent through the body? Where are the legs moving? In which direction? How much are the legs crossing? In words, it takes time to explain it. But if you think in a picture, like in one split second, you can have that picture before you of a shouldering. So you don't need to overthink it. You just focus on that picture in your head. That's how it looks like. That's what I want. And the other part of the picture is that you also can include how it looks like. So you see here 3 pictures on the slide. Try to write down for yourself how these pictures look like. Like, what adjectives would you use to describe these pictures? If you want to, if you have any ideas or you want to help the others with this, you know some adjectives, then you can share them, of course, in the chat. So how could these pictures be described? Which adjectives would you use for the shoulder in, for example? Is it supple? Is it flowing? Is it active? Balanced? Maybe it's even in harmony. And then the activity of the horse going over the trot poles, that's even higher. I mean, look at how high she raised her hind leg. So what adjective would you use there? Like powerful, forward, with impulsion. We could use a whole string of words to just describe this one picture. But when you are riding and you are starting an exercise, or you want to start an exercise and you're preparing to do that, really focus on one picture in your mind, and you will find that your horse will become a thought reader. They will be able to read your mind. The clearer the picture gets in your mind, the better your horse will be at reading it. Marielle is sharing at the trot poles picture. It is forward and flowing. Yes, amazing. Thank you. And what would you use to describe the walk, where the horse is stretching? How does that look? Without even saying the technical, like how much, relaxing and balanced. Yeah. And can you imagine picturing this these multiple words, relaxing and balanced, in just one picture in your mind, that you would not need more words or multiple words, but that you can just combine them in one? Let me know in the chat if that makes sense for you guys, or if I need to explain on that a little bit more. Because horses are so much in the moment that we don't have time to think so much. We really have in a few seconds, we have to get clear on, this is what I want, this is what it looks like. Yeah, thank you, Sue. Great. Okay, then we go on to the third pillar, which is biomechanics. What is very, very important is that when you develop your horse over a longer period of time, that you don't go too fast, but that you also don't go too slow. Because if you don't help your horse develop carrying power, then experiencing the weight of the rider on the back will really be a burden for longer than needed. At the beginning, when they are young and they need to learn how to carry us, then of course it's a little bit of a burden, and some people are very good at developing young horses quickly so that they learn to carry themselves with the weight of the rider, and then they become a really pleasurable, easy riding horse because they can balance themselves. This really takes strength. So you have to get there in a not a too fast way, but also not a too slow manner. I've seen so many riders love their horse into incompetence. So they always start doing less when the horse has difficulty and is telling, and this is really not the way. So when the horse has difficulty and is telling them, oh, this is hard, then they change their approach or they quit. A clear, simple, focused plan forward will give you the certainty as the personal trainer for your horse when to stick to the push-ups that your horse is actually having to do, and ask for that one more, like the personal trainer at the gym. You're doing the push-ups or the crunches, and they always say 1 more or 3 more to go, and you're like, I can't. So you want to quit in that moment, and that's what horses can, of course, experience the same way. Like, my muscles ache, I don't want to, and they start to be a little bit difficult. And when you have a clear plan and you have that certainty that you can be in the right moment as the personal trainer for your horse, you can ask for that 1 more, so you can strengthen your horse. So you don't always quit where it becomes hard, but you push up that little comfort zone and you stretch it out. You really have to go over the things that your horse already knows. You have to go a little bit further than that so that you can improve. So now that we have gone over all 3 horse development pillars, we are going to define your 90-day goal and your 3 monthly themes for consistency. So my intention for this webinar is really that you walk out of it with a clear plan, that you know what you want to achieve in 90 days and you know the steps to get there. So think about it this way. It is now 90 days out, so in 3 months from now. Let's say it's the 21st of October. It's the 21st of October, and you can write that down in your notes right now, and really write it down as if it's already that date. You are there. It's the 21st of October, and it has been the best 90 days ever with your horse. You have unlocked the locks that were there. You have found new skills, new knowledge, new certainty. You have really stepped into the role that your horse needs you. You've been showing up, and you're proud of what you have achieved. So see yourself there on that October 21st. Maybe you see your horse as well, and he has changed, he has improved. Something is different. You can't really believe that you did it, but it's really true. You can see it in your horse. Then write down what it is that you have achieved during this past 90 days, your best 90 days with your horse. See yourself there and write it down. It is now October 21st, and I can finally do blank with my horse for you to fill in. I'm going to give you a little moment to think about that. Also important to pick one thing, not like, oh, you have been doing 300 things in 90 days, right? Like, what is the one thing you desperately wanted to achieve today? And now that you're there, October 21st, you can just see it before you, that you've done it. You're there. You got it. Good. Now we get into the fun stuff. Type a yes in the chat if you could define a 90-day goal for yourself. Okay, I see some yeses coming in. Great, great, great. Very good. The thing that we're going to do now is to check out how the relationship, understanding, and biomechanics fit into reaching that goal. So is there anything in the relationship that you will need to strengthen with your horse? Do you feel like there is a relationship aspect missing compared today to your end result? It doesn't have to be. Maybe your relationship is already great and you need some of the other things. But if there is a relationship aspect there, then you can write that down. Like, I need to improve the relationship with my horse, very generic. Or maybe you have a specific thing in your relationship that you want to improve. Like, I want to be a better leader for my horse so that he can just trust to follow me. Or I want my horse to have a better relationship with me than with the treats that I'm carrying. So anything, make it as specific as you can. But if it's just general improving your relationship, that's fine too. We can look at it afterwards in the steps to follow. And then think about understanding. Like, now that you know how it looks like, that goal that you want to reach, what level of communication will you need to be there? Maybe you already have a good communication with your horse and you have to work more on the relationship or the biomechanics. That's fine, but think about it. Is the communication between you and your horse already at the level of that 90-day outcome? And if there's something to improve, try to write it down as specific as you can. And the same for the biomechanics. Which area does your horse or you need to physically improve? So is there, in that 90-day outcome, is there a gap biomechanically, physically, in your horse or yourself from where you are today? And in these areas, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of them, the things you have written down will become your monthly themes. So you will have 3 monthly themes for your 90-day goal. It might be that 1 month you're working on your relationship, the second one on your understanding, and the third one on the biomechanics as a main theme for that month. Or it can be that you have multiple understanding, multiple biomechanics goals. That's also possible, but it is important to choose one main focus area for every month that you work with your horse, because this will give you the consistency in your training that you need, that you're not switching it up every week, but you're really working towards one outcome every month. So now that we have these monthly themes, we can start planning our training and knowing why and when to train. And as I've said before, you and your horse are unique, so you should follow your own path. You should follow the path that makes you happy and you successful. Successful, how that looks to you. So if you're in a barn full of dressage riders and you hate dressage, please don't try to do what everybody else is doing. Your horse, your goals, your personality, your success. That is what you are going to try to achieve with your personal training plan. So here's another interesting fact that a lot of us might not know. Horses are actually super students. They start to learn as soon as they are born, and they will be learning their whole life. They have complex herd dynamics. They have many relationships with other horses. So what will help you in your training planning is the following fact, that researchers have discovered that horses learning a new skill in 1 session per week actually need less sessions in total than horses training every day. So if you would train a horse for 3 weeks every day, you would have maybe 21 sessions on one topic. And another horse that is trained 1 time per week for the same skill might learn it in already 5 or 6 weeks. So it's double the time, but you didn't have to do it every day. And the horse still acquires this skill at the same level. So this is really awesome, because this means you really don't have to drill your horse. You really don't have to have as much repetition in your training as you might think. Ah, yes. Looking at my notes, I forgot something. The first of your 3 monthly themes that you're going to work on for the coming month, on one best day of the week, you are going to work on that monthly theme. More is good, but 1 time will be enough to make progress in this area. So if you want to improve your relationship with your horse, of course, you think about it every day, but it would be enough to schedule 1 day a week where you really focus on this area. So your first monthly theme, it will be about 4 weeks, that is your main theme. You can really suffice with 1 time per week focusing on that. So pick your best day of the week where you have the most time, where you have the most energy, where it's the best weather this week and you have the best possibilities. And then you focus on your monthly theme. So then what do? We have 1 day planned. What do we do with the other weeks? Well, Every type of riding that we do, we can look at it in a different way than I'm doing dressage, I'm doing jumping, I'm doing trail riding, I'm doing groundwork. Basically, if we look at it in a discipline way, we tend to do what we already know. So we've learned some stuff in dressage, and when we ride dressage, we just do all these exercises that we already know how to do. And maybe you can think about that, like how much variety is there in your dressage training, or is it really just kind of the same thing every time? Or how is your show jumping training, or how are your trail rides going? Is it always the same length? Is it always the same path where you trot, the same amount of time that you canter? Think about it a little differently, and see your trainings as one of the 3 S types of training: strength, stamina, or suppleness. One of the 3. In dressage, the strength training is basically focusing on collection, on riding transitions, on doing lateral movements. And of course, if you are jumping a course or using cavaletti in canter cavaletti, then you're also really building strength. If you're working on stamina, you're doing more interval training. And it's clearly from this picture, you can see, yes, out in the field, I can do slow canter, fast canter, do some interval training with walk in between. But also in your arena work, you can incorporate this. If one day you want to do a stamina training, then try to canter for longer. We mostly canter just a few circles or a few times around the arena, and then we change it up. But maybe you can do one dressage training or flat work training where you really have breaks in between on long rein in the walk, and then you pick it up again and you canter for a few minutes. That is a totally different training than going around at the trot and really trying to teach your horse transitions and lateral movements. So it's also a very different use of his body, and you will not overtrain him in one specific way. You will use variety to stimulate every time the muscles and all the tendons and ligaments in a different way. And then the third one is suppleness training. Doing a backup where the horse really needs to bend his joints, riding on bends and circles, of course. Leg yields is also a suppleness training because the horse needs to position his body laterally. And if you are more of a jumping rider, then doing a suppleness training over low jumps with more bends and circles and serpentines, really switching from right lead to left lead over small jumps, then you are really working more on the suppleness. And then on a different day, you would do the strength training where you maybe ride the course or jump a little higher or do in-out work, those kind of things. So really add some variety to your training throughout the week by considering these 3 types of training. If you have a very well-trained horse that already has enough stamina to be ridden often, then you would have one of these every week. So a strength training, a stamina training, and a suppleness training, with recovery training in between that is really easygoing, or maybe one of your more relationship-based trainings, maybe some easy groundwork, really not tiring the horse physically. And then one relaxing day where it's just the horse has a day off, you have a day off. I mean, we cannot show up every day. We also have other things going on in our lives. So you have to give yourself a break also, that at least once a week it's easygoing and you can just enjoy being with your horse, but you don't have to do anything. You can spend some time reading a book or watching him in the pasture, things like that. And the last thing I would share is 4 strategies for your daily goal setting. Just going over this really quickly. So for your strength, stamina, and suppleness training, before you start, picture the outcome. So we already talked about this. Is important for the horses. Have a picture in mind that shows your desired outcome for today and visualize it clearly. Like, how do you want your horse to look? How do you want the ride to feel? What is really the goal for today? Do you want to get your horse more energized, or do you want to get it more calm, more easygoing? Picture really what you're working on and where you want to go. Then determine a strategy to get there. Just like we did with the 90-day outcome, we now have a strategy and a plan to reach that 90-day outcome. Also, for one training, you will need a strategy. So determine the exercises you will use in the warm-up and in the training that you will do to achieve your goal for that day. This way, every training is not the same because you have different goals for every day. Another important thing is to focus on one thing at a time. This is what really hit home for Wendy and her beautiful black horse Dio that I told you about in the beginning. Having a picture of the best outcome for each separate exercise and focus entirely on that picture. Having one thing in mind and being so clear about it is what really helps your horse to understand what you want, understand what you are telling with your aids, and understand what answer it should be looking for. And then, of course, reward often. So for every improvement of an exercise, really encourage your horse, and everything that is moving towards your goal or your perfect outcome, you have that picture so clear in mind, so you can see, yes, this is in the right direction. Yes, you can even sometimes feel or see what your horse thinks in the right direction. Like, yes, you're getting there. You're getting warmer. This is what I want. So let your horse know. Don't wait or push more until it's perfect. Like, every little step in the right direction, let your horse know. You don't have to quit the exercise. Just ride like Wendy and just say, yes, good boy, you're doing it. That's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly where we want to go. So let's recap all that we've covered so far. My most important message for you today is to dream big and believe in yourself and your horse. You know your horse, you know yourself, you know how you are together, and nobody else can tell you it should be any other way. You're perfect. See your horse through your young eyes when you didn't know anything, how everything should be done with horses, and see them as the perfect horse that they are. And also, do not discredit yourself. You are the perfect person for your horse, because that's how the universe works. Find your path and then just use the 3 pillars. Keep it simple. You can make it complicated if you want, but you really don't have to. Find your path. What do you want to achieve? What do you need in the relationship? What do you need to improve in the understanding? And what are you still missing in the biomechanics physical part? To stay consistent in your path and give your horse a chance to really learn what you want him to learn, even if you only have to do that 1 time per week, focus on that theme. You will need a theme that goes throughout a month. So 4 weeks, sometimes it's 5 weeks, that you're consistently having your main focus and really building your week up to that main training where you are focusing on that monthly theme. To be training from the horse's point of view, as the smart beings that they are, do the new or difficult training 1 time per week. If your really motivated, or you have a holiday week, or you have more time off than usual, or you just feel like, today is the day, I want to do it again, then of course you can do it more often. You can do it 2 times or 3 times per week, but not more than 3 times, because horses are really smart and you don't want to bore them. Then if you want to do it as often, then you also have to add something new to keep it interesting. Use 3 types of training for healthy variety. So the strength, stamina, or suppleness training, instead of just thinking, today I'm going to do dressage, or today I'm going to be jumping. How are you going to be doing that? Are you focusing on suppleness today, or are you focusing more on strength or stamina? And then be the personal trainer for your horse by coming with a daily training plan. And the plan is just a guideline. If everything doesn't go as planned, that's fine. But come with that plan. Have that good intention, and not all the distractions of work and family and everything that you heard at the hairdressers or dentist or whatever you went. Just come with your plan, with your clear intention, and your horse will really start to read your mind. So, enjoy your journey. I have a little poll for you right now. Has this training been valuable to you so far? Really easy, really quick to answer. Just tell me yes or no. Has this over 1 hour training been valuable to you so far? Look at that. That's awesome, you guys. I'm so happy you're saying yes. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. I'm so honored to share this with you. Okay. Now it's time that we got into the really, really good stuff, because it's time to share how we can start working together to follow your path. If this has been valuable to you, then I'm sure you cannot wait to see what I have in store for you next. I'm really, really excited for this, because it's a one-time offer for founding members. So, Path of the Horse Developer will be a small group coaching program running over the next 3 months to really have you excel in the coming 90 days, stepping into that role of the personal trainer for your horse and reaching your goals over and over again. This is really for an intimate small group of horse owners or equestrians, even if you ride other people's horses, of course. And that's basically the only time you can join as a founding member. We will be building this course around you and really tailor it to anybody that joins this time. And it's based on the premise, my promise to you, that stepping into the role of the personal trainer for your horse is the most successful way to reach your dream partnership and feel confident about what you are doing every ride. I've seen it in so many students. This is exactly how I train young horses or horses that need to be retrained. I cannot stress how effective this is. If you step into that role, into that way of being, the things that you need to do to reach the things that you want to have will just fall into place for you. You will have no more confusion, no more doubts about yourself, no more trying to do what everybody else is doing or what everybody is telling you that you should be doing. This will be centered around you, your horse, and your path. You'll be knowing that you're on the right path, and I'll be your guide along the way. I just have to make it trek-related joke about that. I'll make sure to bring my compass. So I will show you the map and I will guide you, and I hold the compass. You just tell me where you want to go. So if you're here because you are making no progress, you're riding as much as you can, you're trying different trainers, but you're still riding the same as 1 year ago, or if you're here because you feel like you're doing the basics forever and your horse is still difficult in the most basic exercises, or if somehow you've lost the fun along the way, your riding just feels difficult and you start to think, maybe I'm just not cut out to be a good rider. And you find yourself doing less, staying on the ground, maybe just, going for a walk and dialing down your training more and more because riding just seems like you're never going to get it. Or maybe you have your trainer on repeat and it's just so frustrating. Does your trainer keep you working on the same stuff over and over and over and nothing improves, and they keep you there because they say, if you don't get this, then you don't get to do the next thing, blah, blah, blah. Or you're just struggling. You feel like you have to struggle with your horse instead of finally reaching that communication in lightness. Everything is like, I really have to convince him, I really have to push him, or I really have to, use more in my communication that I would actually like to use, because I know we all want to ride in lightness and in friendly communication. Or maybe you're attracted to this because you have total analysis paralysis, a really adult way of thinking. We all do this. It's very human. You absolutely know how it should be, but you find yourself correcting others better than yourself. Like if you see somebody ride, you're like, yeah, duh. I mean, of course that doesn't work because this and that, and they can improve and blah, 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 and they should be doing. And you try to do all that stuff right yourself, but somehow it's like, I know this. Why is it so hard? I know how it should be. And somehow in practice with my own horse, I feel stuck. So if this is where you're now, and you're really done just learning more techniques, finding more courses, going through more training books, going to more clinics, and just filling your head with stuff, but it's just that's not what is going to make you find that next step and finally step into, now I know what to do, now I know where I'm going, it's finally getting somewhere. Then I'm offering you the chance to step into my group coaching program, small group, step-by-step, complete strategy to rediscover your dreams. Maybe you think you know what you want, but is that really what you want? And then go and achieve them. This will be the founding members group with only 20 riders that can join. It is much, much more powerful than one-on-one coaching because you will also be learning from each other. Sometimes other people just ask the question, I should have asked that question. Have you ever been at a clinic and then somebody asked a question, you're like, my brain was just trying to find the words, and this other student asked the perfect question, and now with the explanation, now I get it. Now I can go do it. So that is a really, really cool thing that we will be exchanging and doing hot seats, like looking at each other's position and looking at each other's like where you are now and where you want to go, and then seeing the steps from A to B for someone else can be very clarifying for yourself. And of course, in a group, you have accountability. So we will be having our own private Facebook group where you can see the progress of others, get inspired and motivated. And also, if you share you are going to do something, then the group will help you be accountable and actually go do it. You will have the support from the whole group, support from me along the way, and of course, a sense of community. So we will be in this together with like-minded individuals and all putting the horse first, but still wanting to also achieve something with our horses, because we know we can unlock that potential and our horse will love finding out what it's capable of. This will be a very personal coaching program. So during the 12 weeks that we will be working together, there will be 8 coaching calls with me personally. As I mentioned, we will have the Facebook group for daily chit chat and asking questions in the moment you have them. Next to that, I will also be doing one-on-one calls with every participant. So I will be making sure that we really zone into what your specific needs are. This is not just an online course where everybody watches the same videos and then you have more things in your head that you need to wrap your head around. No, I will also be investing my time in you one-on-one. At the beginning of the program, in the middle if you need it, or even at the end or afterwards. That's absolutely your call when you want to have them and when they are most helpful to you. Because it's a small group, I can adapt that much. Later, when the program grows, that will be, of course, more difficult to organize. So if you're at all interested, make sure to get on it now. I will be sharing the videos of all the trainings and of course the PDFs that I make. If I will be making presentations just like this one, then all of that material will be made available to you. And you will, of course, as a member of the coaching program, get my horse training planner, which is a PDF tool that helps you go step by step through the things that we just discussed. And it will help you really be clear about your weekly plans and your daily training plans, and help you also with additional questions for the reviews and then trying to improve for next time. So that is a really, really helpful thing. It's also sold separately on my website, but you will get it for free if you are in the group coaching program. Then you will be able to send in videos, because horse training is one of the most difficult sports. It's a nice coincidence that today one of my colleagues in my office job told me that horse riding, sailing, and Formula One are the most difficult sports. So, because sometimes there is just an exercise problem or there is a practical issue that you have, that really would help to get an analysis on within your training, I am offering you the possibility to send in training videos, and then I will comment on these videos. And if it's needed to explain exactly what I would like you to try differently, then I will also edit the videos. So you will get them back with my comments during the video is running, and also edited maybe in slow motion with some lines, with some explanation, if there's really something more technical that is still needed next to all the big overview approach that we are really working on, the role that you are filling, the training plans that you are making. If you're worried, yeah, but I cannot learn this alone, or somebody needs to see what I'm doing from the ground, this is my offer. The best I can do for a worldwide audience is to edit your training videos with my comments and some tips and tricks. And of course, if the group allows it, we could also go over the videos together. And what I want to also give to these founding members, to really acknowledge them, to really, how can I say it? To really give back, because it's a gift. If you enter this program, it is a gift to yourself, to your horse, and my gift to you for stepping up. And no more trying, just stepping up and doing this. is that as a founding member, you will have lifetime access to this program. So it will be offered next year. Every time I relaunch it, you will have your access ticket. So only the founding members will have this lifetime invitation to the program. So if in 1 year you find yourself, I need a little motivational boost, I could go through those 3 months again. That would be cool because I want to step up again. Only the founding members get this opportunity as a big fat bonus on top of everything else. So what is the value that you're getting here? 8 live training calls, 2 hours each. This would be a complete program in itself to follow, worth over 3,000 euros. If you get 2 personal one-on-one calls, 1 hour each, and you would book those separately through my website, you would pay 400. 3 times video feedback, where I edit your video and take the time to go through all the nitty-gritty details. If you would just do that as a standalone, it would cost you 600. And a Facebook group with lifetime access with your peers, people that are like-minded, that are going to support you all the way, that's just priceless. All videos and PDF materials from the trainings and the presentations and all the tools that I'm going to share with you to work this out, to work this through, I could also sell that separately. So that's minimum 2,000 euro value. And of course, you get a lifetime invitation to every next opening. And each year I will launch it at least 1 time. I think it will be an exclusive training because I put a lot of heart and energy into it. So it will take another year if you don't join now for the next opportunity. And at that time, it will cost you 2,000 to participate. So you will be getting a total value of almost 10,000 euros. And what would be the alternatives? If you're now on the edge of your seat and you're like, come on, how much is it? How much is it? How much can it be? If you would ask a personal trainer to come over 5 times per week, you would be in 12 weeks 6,000 euros lighter. If you would send your horse to a training barn and it would be there for 3 months, like, just fix the problem with my horse and give it back to me, you would be at least 4,500 euros lighter. If you would do one-on-one coaching with me for 18 hours in the coming 12 weeks, that would cost you 3,600 euros. But you can join this very limited small group program right now today and acquire lifelong knowledge and tools to step into the role of the personal trainer for your horse. Okay, how much is it? How much is it? Your investment today for this life-changing program is just 997 euros. This is the only time I will offer it like this. You will get your bonus horse training planner. You will have your amazing lifetime invitation to every next opening. And if you enroll today, you will know that goal that you have defined, that you want to reach in the next 90 days, will be within reach. And as you are here now, you are the first one to get the possibility to get this founding member offer. I have shared the link. You can click the button sign up here, which will lead you to my website. And there all the information is available on the sales page. And you can enroll today. And we will be starting beginning of next month. So August, September, October, we will be going through this 12-week program. You will have a little bit of time to organize yourself. You will get all the dates when the coaching calls will be. And of course, when you enroll today, you can immediately download the horse training planner and start the first steps towards that 90-day outcome that you have defined at the beginning of this webinar. So, are there any questions so far about the training, about the program? You can ask me any question that relates to the topics that I've been teaching on today. Anything you still want to know after this presentation? Anything you want to know about path of the horse developer? To go and follow your path the coming 12 weeks and coming out as a horse developer that acquired the lifelong skills. Every other horse that enters your life will be thankful. Every other goal that you ever set for yourself will be within reach. Any clinic that you go to, any online course that you follow that is just specific about exercises, about techniques, will make so much more sense. You will know how to bring that to your horse. You will know exactly how to offer that to your horse, what works for him, how often, how much, how quick can I go, when can I introduce new things. And then our lifetime with horses is just so much easier, so much more fun, because it's not like, okay, now I have this idea, I try it with my horse and it doesn't work, and now what? Okay, I try something else. No, you will know exactly if this is really what I want, if this is really some cool, fun thing I would like to achieve with my horse or go do, then you will know how to get there. You will know how to achieve it. And it's not just a one-time trick. It's not a one-time pony. You will know how to adapt to different horses, different situations, and always be a horse developer that any horse would consider a worthy lead mare. A personal trainer for the horse that unlocks the horse within. So I see some of you have followed the link to find out more. Of course, I have promised you to share the slides of today so you can go over all the information once again. Here it is. You should be getting a prompt now to download the slide deck for Equine Personal Trainer. Yeah, there you are. It's working. Cool. I see you guys are getting your hands on the PDF. And of course, everybody will get the replay link. So everything we covered today, if it was going a bit fast or you need to review some of the parts that we went over, then just grab your slide deck, grab your notes, watch the replay. And I would be very, very honored if you just write me an email about what it has done for you. What have you learned today? What has been your biggest realization, something you didn't know before and that you think might make a difference now that you know it, something that you will be doing differently with your horse from now on. I'm really, really always looking forward to your messages. I will put my email address in the chat. Of course, it is also at the top of my website, so it's easy to find. There you go. So if you have questions when you go over the slides one more time, or you look at your notes and you're like, or you still are maybe having some questions about Path of the Horse Developer and how you can join as a founding member, then just send me an email. I am always answering those personally. And now there's nothing more left to do than to say thank you very much for joining. You can download the slides. Don't forget to do that. And don't forget to check out the founding members offer, because this offer is going out to a list of 160 people that have raised their hands and are interested and registered for this webinar. And as you have seen, there are only 20 spots available. So make sure, if you're at all interested, to check it out and make up your mind soon. I'm only having the offer up until coming Sunday. So for the coming 4 days, I'm available for you. You can send me an email to answer any questions that you might have about Path of the Horse Developer. And Sunday, the card is closing. So because we will be starting the program beginning of August, there are only 4 days to enroll. And then I put my heart and soul into the group of founding members that have joined. So thank you very much for joining. Big thumbs up to you that you stayed till the end, and have fun with your horses. Let me know what they think of the new you. Bye, horse developers. Have a good day. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Maren. Thank you, Marielle. Bye-bye.